Today is the 10th of August 2023, and I would like to introduce you to frequency tables. Okay, using frequency tables and how to do them. Before I start the lesson, thank you to everyone who has been watching our videos. If it is helping you, please don't keep it to yourself. Share it, like it, give us a nice comment, subscribe and follow us. It will be very much appreciated. Okay, this once, it doesn't cost you anything, especially on our YouTube page. You can subscribe, okay, and please share and leave us a nice comment. Okay, thank you very much. I normally write in the comment section, please follow my notes/script. So I want to hear, for example, this is 70 apple trees, okay, tree trunks. Okay, so assuming you hear me say 7, please go by what is on the script. So for instance, this is range, this is median, mean, mode. Okay, so assuming I'm saying median and I'm explaining something about median, and my pen is on median, and you hear mean, please go by median. Okay, thank you very much for that. And then I want to talk about scammers. I won't go on WhatsApp, or I won't send you a friend request. If somebody does that, please, it's not me. I won't ask you to donate money to give to an orphanage. I don't have an orphanage, or to some charity somewhere. Okay, so please beware of scammers. If somebody is chatting with you and asking you to donate to an orphanage or something, and that the use of this channel, it is not me. So please don't fall for it. Okay, thank you very much. Now, so far, before yesterday, I introduced you to range, median, mean and mode. Okay, and we had the greenhouse temperature scenario over 7 days. Okay, where at 10 a.m. every morning the owner will take the temperature. I showed you how to draw the graph, okay, and I showed you how to label, okay, and we used the graph to just understand what is the line graph. Okay, and we saw that how to use the graph to maximize space by the use of this sign, where you don't start from 0, but you look at the range and then you try. And so yesterday we started the exercises from 20 onwards, and then we talked about using equal intervals. Okay, so we counted the boxes and then we used equal intervals. And I talk about labeling your X and Y axis, and use of a title where you don't have to use, you don't write with pen on your graph paper. Everything on the graph paper should be in pencil. But because of the way I turned my graph, the space at the top is not the graph space, it was a plain space. So I used a pen to write my title. If I turn it the other way around, you can go and watch yesterday's video. If I turn it the other way around, then I'll have to write my title in pencil, okay, because it will have to be on the graph. I hope you understand that. Okay, so in that case, we only have 7 sets of data, 7 numbers, so it wasn't difficult to analyze. Okay, we found the range, we found the median, which is the middle number, we found the mean, which is adding everything and dividing by the number of data we had, and then we could find the mode. Okay, the data that occurs the most. Okay, so if you have 7 sets of numbers, it's not difficult to find these averages. But those 7 numbers does not give us a real picture of what is happening. Okay, it's not sufficient enough. We can make a judgment, but that judgment might not be accurate. Okay, so now this is where frequency table come in. So I've brought you a very large set of data, and this is about the diameter of 70 apple tree trunks on a farm. Okay, so this farmer decided to measure the trunks of his apple tree, okay, in centimeters, and he gave us the data of the first 70. Okay, there could be lots more, but he did 70 and he stopped. Okay, so now if you get a set of data like this, that is a lot of data. Okay, and if you are going to be plotting this as we did yesterday, it's going to take you a very long time. This is the data. Okay, so what we have to do is to get a frequency table, and then whatever we get on the table, we can use a graph to put it on the graph, and then after that we interpret. Is that okay? Now, with this set of data, they are not going to tell you at the lowest and the highest. You will have to find that. Okay, so when I scanned through the data, I realized that the lowest measurement was 64 and the highest was 76, somewhere here. Okay, 76 there. Okay, you will have to find that. They won't tell you. Okay, so straight away, if you subtract the highest from the lowest, is 76 centimeters. So if you subtract the highest from the lowest, your range here is 12 centimeters. Okay, now we need to plot all this on a frequency table. So this is my frequency table. Okay, so 70 apple 3 trunks in centimeters. Okay, the diameter in centimeters. The lowest measurement was 64 centimeters and the highest is 76 centimeters. So straight away my range is 12 centimeters. Now with the tally, the frequency table, this is a frequency table. So I have my diameter, I have my tally, and I have my frequency. I did this all by myself. Okay, so under exam condition, you have to do all this by yourself. Now, the diameter, we found that the lowest is 67 and the highest is 76. And here, if we want to group them, we can group them, assuming they said they gave us the age of children in a certain community. Okay, so we might want to group them from 0 to 1, or 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 11 to 15, 16 to 20. Okay, we might want to do that. But here, there are 3 trunks. Okay, so we want to have an idea. So we just wrote them from the lowest to the highest. Okay, with the group data, I'll have to do another lesson on that. Okay, but today my aim is to show you how to do the frequency table. Okay, so now lowest is 64, then 65, all the way to 76. Okay, in centimeters. Now the tally, you have to be very careful, otherwise when you finish and it's not up to 70, you will have to go back and check where you missed, and it will be a very painful exercise, so you have to be careful. So what I did was, so I think you should stick to one strategy. You can look at the number 64, cross it out, and then put it, give it a stroke. Okay, so if you stroke 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is a 5. So for instance, this is a 5, so this is a 9, that is a 7. Okay, that is an 11. So if you do it in bits of 5s, then it's easy to count. That is the reason for this column. And then you can count how many you have, and then you put it on the frequency table. If you don't bring this tally and you go by just scanning and counting, you might end up missing some of the numbers because they've mixed them up. Okay, and they are not going to tell you the lowest and the highest. So since you are finding them, then it's better you just do it a frequency table like what I'm showing you, to make your life easier. Because even if you miss one number, then you are not going to get the total frequency, and you have to go back and do it again. Okay, that will be a lot of time wasted. So, and what I did was, I look at 67, cross it out with a pencil, and then went here and wrote a stroke. Okay, Then I went in down and then up, down. You can decide to do it this way along, okay, and come back here. But also, what I want to say is you need to count. So look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that is 7. Okay, and then across is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 times 7 is 70. Don't just assume the question said 70, so they've given you 70. Okay, something can be missing due to printing, so you want to be sure that it's 70. So 64 here, I went on and I gave a stroke there. I give that my stroke, and then I cross it out there with a pencil to show that I have labeled it. 71, went back, okay, look for 71, gave a stroke here, and then came back and cross it off. Okay, you can also look at the number, cross it off, and then straight away label, give your stroke. Whichever way you do it, as long as you are consistent, you will not mix out, and do it so that even if you are going to use 3 minutes to do the tally column or 4 minutes to do the tally column, you wouldn't have to do it and do it again, so that when you finish, everything in this frequency column should add up to 70. Okay, so let me do the first one with you. So 75, then I went to 75 here and then give it a stroke. Okay, and then before I left, I cancelled it off. 65, cross it off, went on my table, a stroke. Okay, 66, cross it off, went there, found 66 and give it the first stroke. 73 here, cross it off, came here, look for 73 and then my stroke. Okay, 69, so cross it off here with a pencil, quickly went on my table, found 69 and gave it my stroke. Okay, so that is the first row. So this is how I did my data. So this is the data. Okay, I'm trying to lift it up for you so that in case you want to have a look at it. So that is the data here. Okay, you can pause it here and then use it to do your own tally table. So when I finish, so I've done the first row with you, I've done this row with you here, so you can continue, okay, and do all the 70. Okay, so if you see a long set of data, you have to start thinking of a frequency table. Now, are you going to group them or you are not? This is not a group data. This is just a single set of data. It depends on what the question is asking you to do. Okay, but today we are only going to have a look at doing, I'm just going to introduce you and explain to you how to do a tally table, so that when it gets to the group 1, you already know how to label it, and you already know how to do the frequency table, so that we can use it to plot our graph. Okay, so that is the purpose of today's lesson. So after doing all the 70 set of data, okay, 64 appeared 9 times, so you can see 5, that is 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a cross to show this is 5, and then 4, so 9. 65 7 times, 66 4 times, 67 3 times, 68 4 times, 69 7 times, 70 11 times. So straight away this will be our modal trunk, because this occurs the most. 71 6 times, 72 3 times, 73 4 times, 74 6 times, 75 3 times, and then 76 3 times. Now if you add everything under frequency, frequency is how much each of the diameter occurs, you should get 70. So if you add 9 to 7 to 4 to 3 to 4 to 7 to 11 to 6 to 3 to 4 to 6 to 3 and to 3, you should get 70. Now this is called the summation sign in mass. Okay, this zigzag E is called, so the summation of frequency is 70. I've added them so I know that is 70. You can also add them. Okay, that's why I've kept it on longer, or you can pause here and add. It should add up to 70. Okay, now so you realize that you have reduced this massive set of data. Okay, this 70 set of data. Okay, that is so eye-piercing. Okay, into a frequency table. So now you can plot this on your graph. You can find the mean even without plotting on the graph. I will show you another time how to find the mean using the diameter and the frequency. Okay, we've already found the mode. The range is the highest, the lowest. Okay, and you can find the median on the graph. So now you've made it a lot easier for you to understand what is going on. So straight away, out of the 70 set of 3, you can realize that there is a lot more 70 centimeter tree trunks. Okay, there is 76. Okay, the lowest is 64. So there is a bit of small but it's not much difference if you are considering a tree trunk diameter. Okay, so today, this is really what I wanted to show you, okay, to introduce you to the frequency table. This is our summation sign. Do not forget this, okay, or the total sign, okay. So it's called sigma, okay. So it's easier now. We've reduced that whole IPSN set of 70 numbers into a nice frequency table where we can really read and see what is going on with each diameter. Okay, they might ask you to plot a frequency table for a question. If fine, and this will just be it, okay. Or they might ask you to go ahead and plot it on a graph, depending on what they are asking you to do, okay. But today, the main aim of this lesson is to show you how to do this table, okay, and how to systematically do it. Because assuming I finish the frequency table and I add up everything and it's 69, then I have to go back and do it again because the data is 70. So it means I wasn't careful and I missed out something. And under exam condition, if it's in the classroom, fine. But under exam condition, it means I need to use another 3 to 4 minutes going over all this or doing it again. And it's so painful, you don't want to do that. So if you are doing the tally, just be careful. So as I told you from the beginning, you take one number, you put a tally, you cross it out, okay, then you know you've done that. So even if you get muddied in the middle, you know that, unlike going and looking at it the lazy way and saying that, oh, 64, so you scan and have and see how many 64. So after doing that, you realize that, oh, I missed something. And then now you are going to spend extra time on a question that is very easy, okay, to get the marks. So just keep calm and just use a frequency table and get it right first time, okay. So today, this is what I want to introduce you to. Thank you for watching our lesson, and I'll see you in the next lesson.